Yo, crypto nation and mining family, what's going on? What up, what up, what up? You got Crypto McKell, myself, Nemesis. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you've had a great week and have had a great Saturday. I know I worked my butt off today. By like 2 p.m., I had booked like 15 hours, 15.1 hours by 2 from 7 a.m. or in 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. Booked 15 hours. Mechanic life. So how are you, Mikkel?
Fix my camera.
It's like, technical difficulties. First, I couldn't hear him. Now he's having camera issues. It's like, no.
Fine. It's on the wrong setting.
Of course.
Having to reset it because I was using a different source earlier.
Every time Windows updates, and I don't ask it to, it usually screws one of my programs up.
Yeah, mine's just literally I was using something else.
Nice. So what's going on? I see we got Wheeling Crypto in the house. Got that FA. He's like, I'm first. Yes, sir, you are first. We got Sark. What's going on? And Wheeling's got a question. He's got a P106 106 gigabyte card. He's like, what coin is the best coin to mine with those GPUs? I mean, it's basically you're looking at a 10 series GPU. At the end of the day, it's a 10 series GPU. So, unless you've got like really low power like expenditures like free power, or you have it built into your rent to where basically you wouldn't see a fluctuation if, let's say, you doubled the amount of power you were using and you still paid the same rent. That's a sense in essence basically free power. Outside of that,
wow,
you're
what a deal.
Oh yeah, I know. I was looking at that too, and I'm like, it's the power side of it, running it. I mean,
he says 0 electric cost covered by my HUD.
All right, perfect. So now you got free.
Bro. I mean,
so now it's just figuring out what's gonna yield you the most amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be mining some poop coins, but I don't know. That was really like, I mean, because it's such a
P106s, right? You said P106, right?
Yeah, the P106.
P106 is actually on hashrate.no's calculator.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's legit there.
Wow.
It is the very last GPU. According to, I don't know your electric rate, but for my electric rate,
free.
Oh, I don't
know.
All
baked into his rent.
Okay, well, regardless. So, if you get free electric, Dynex, ChinNet, Bitcoin Gold, Vertcoin, Nice Hash for Zhash. All of those are earning you upwards of 50 plus cents a day. Yeah, I don't mind Dynex though. All 5 of them will net you 46 cents a day. Or 0.48
Damn, it doesn't show
Dynex.
it on mine whenever I go on the hashrate.no.
Really?
Yeah, you said it's the last one?
Mm-hmm. For me it is. I don't know about you.
I see A45. Well, let me put it down to 0 on this. Maybe that that'll pop it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you calculate it where it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen and you can see it. Literally right there. P106.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I'm not going into it that direction. I see.
Oh yeah, click the GPU calculator, bro.
Yeah, I didn't go into it that way. I was like, oh, you're going in it that way. I forgot you can do that.
I think it's like last month or so. Oh, they've added, or probably like 2 months now.
Yeah, I keep forgetting this is a
Or
new
more.
this feature exists here.
But this is I don't know if you can do 0 cents. I don't know if that's a thing. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, 0 cents is legit. Neox would be your best bet. That's like something that I know. I don't know what CheatNet is.
Speculative prog proof of work. No, it's Prog Z. That's right. So it's gonna be freaking power intensive.
I mean, so is Neon. So
Right.
PAL. You're
Yeah,
looking. I mean, regardless, you don't have like he's not worrying about power. So power hunger is not the issue. But heat is going to be the next situation.
Yeah, you're going to be battling two things. So because I've seen the
Dynex will get you 46 cents.
I've got P102 carcasses.
The Ox will push you 500 watts for 56 cents. 10 cents less, and you'll be burning quite a bit less power.
Right.
Which means less heat.
Yeah, less heat, and the #1 killer on a 1070 on a 10 series GPU, and it doesn't matter which one you got. The #1 killer is that there's only one failsafe for 12 volts to go through the memory to the VGA core, and if it slaps that memory, the GPU's dead.
Right.
So,
I mean, if you're gonna be mining for Bitcoin, it's probably your nice hash is gonna be your best bet.
Right.
Be putting you on Zhash or GoPal.
And
if you can't use nice hash because I know you don't live in America, if I'm not mistaken, use. Well, in this case, you wouldn't be able to use unmineable. So, unmineable doesn't have any of these coins. Raven coin, it does.
But if you're gonna go down that rabbit hole, also you got to take max power of the GPU plus 75 watts at the riser for each card, and make sure that never maxes out what the power supply can push, because if it sees a ripple off of that power supply because you accidentally went too high just by 10, 20, 30 watts above what the power, a little tap, and it usually will kill one of the GPUs. I've got a dead one from Red Panda. I've got and you want to know what's funny too? Funny side note that it also had the issue on the 20 series. So it's just not enough failsafe between the memory hitting 12 volts because the controller chip dies on the thing because it got slapped with 12 volts, and where it basically sees the dip in power and it tries the command for more power. And it's like, hey guys, I need more. I'm not gonna be stable if you drop below this. And it's like, and it opens up the floodgates, and then the power comes back, and it's like, whack it up. All the power.
That's funny.
Oh, I've seen inductors that turn bluish purple and like desoldered off the board. I was like, wow, that's some heat.
The real proof of work.
Oh my god, yeah.
Proof of too much work.
Oh yeah, Panda was like,
it took the whip and it wasn't happy about it. It said,
oh yeah, Panda was like
died
showing me
immediately.
photos of one of them, and I'm like, look in that bottom right corner, and there's a bunch of filter caps that are supposed to be there. I'm like, are they blowing off the board? And he takes a photo, and he's like, I don't see him, and he sends me a photo of it. And I blow it up, put it on the GIMP, and I make a circle, and I send it back to him. He's like, oh yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
I'm like, yeah, that GPU's done. He's like, bummer. I'm like, let me guess. You had 4 of these on a 1,000-watt power supply. He's like, that's funny. How did you know? And I'm like, because that's how they're all dying. I haven't found one person that didn't.
One of them.
Yep, every one of them that I've seen that failed, they had 4 on a 1,000-watt power supply. They're like, but it's only pulling 100 watts. That's what I'm commanding it. And I'm like, yeah, that you do realize that an overclock is basically a suggestion to the GPU. It's gonna do what it needs to do to stay stable.
I want all the power.
Oh yeah, and it will take it. And it'll be like, yeah, I don't care what your plans were, but
And then the other
GPUs
GPUs are like, oh, you're taking all the power? We want all the power too. Let's all pull all the power at the same time.
Right.
Just for like a split second. It'll be okay.
And here you are, you're pulling 225 watts per 250 watts per GPU. You're like, oh, bye.
I think we made a mistake.
Yeah. It might handle it once or twice, but there's just a point where it just keeps
not
getting
continuous.
Hot. Yeah, it just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter the more often that
something's
that happens.
Eventually gonna give.
Yeah. And it's usually
Sure.
your 0 ohm capacitors, which are just filters.
Oh
Once they pop, it's like no more filtration, and it's like it sings a sad death song.
Gosh.
You know what's
something
really
it showed me my returns and sats, and I was like, oh my gosh, why am I getting some back so much? And I was like, oh jeez. Threw me for a loop for a second. I was like, why did it show me that in sats?
So
not normal.
You want to know something that's really kind of funny? Just in time for a crypto market to rocket off. You see the AMD new chipset that's going to be coming out? The new height chipset?
I have not.
Threadripper non-pro consumer edition coming out. Be the TR7880X, TR7970X, and the 7960X. I'm kind of like doing a small happy dance here. They'll also be doing it'll be a pro variant that they also have, but they are going to be on the WX lineup, which will range from about it'll go up to about $10,000 if you want the big bad boy, the 7995 WX. Which is 96.
It scored 100K instead of bench. 100K.
What?
The pro.
Oh yeah.
148 is the record with an OC.
Bro.
148K.
So you can sit there and realistically get the 7965 WX.
So
you'll have 24 cores, 48 threads, boosting at 5.3 gigahertz. You're just under $3,000 on the chipset. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's the workload. So you got to sit there and figure out what your workload is. That's going to justify.
Wow,
you
it's only
spending it.
like 2.5 gigahertz. It's pretty wild that it's only 2.5 gigahertz for 192 threads.
That's base clock. That's with it basically just sitting there idling, not really doing much. It's 2.5 gigahertz. It's the collective. It's the same thing. Like
we're coming in like a direction, you know what I mean? Like it's just wild to see like 2.5 still, but like hardware.
It's like my limitation with my RAM, right? On my board, I've got a Asus ROG Strix E399X gaming motherboard for a Threadripper, right? It's got quad channel RAM. If you populate the first just the single DIN into the slot A, you can get 3,200 mega transfers per second.
Oh, bro. Yeah,
but if I sit there and populate all the RAM channels and populate all the RAM in there, I can't go beyond 2,666 mega transfers per second on my RAM. But because there's so much RAM in there, there's so much allocation in there, they're all can collectively distribute the workload. You don't need much whenever it comes down to like idling or something like that. But
my thought would be to you is to maybe buy the cheapest compatible CPU that you can find at like Best Buy or some box store.
What did I miss?
Upgrade your BIOS and then go return it. The new CPU was on the motherboard list that he got, but only with a BIOS update. So he has to update his BIOS, but doesn't have a CPU.
What kind of board? What kind of board?
It's like, easiest thing is
Intel or AMD?
Is to get like the best or like the cheapest CPU for that thing.
Is it Intel or AMD?
I don't know. It's probably AMD. I would imagine AMD.
If it's AMD, there's a fun fact with some of those boards.
Asus Prime Intel.
Oh, and you just see if it was
the trick doesn't work for you.
Yep. So AMD.
Some of them you can recover BIOS with a USB. There you go.
Right. That's with the AMD platform that I know you can do that with. You don't even have to have a CPU in the motherboard. You can just plug in a USB, and it's got a special port on the back of the motherboard that you can sit there, reload up the updated BIOS, slot it in, power it on. The lights will start flashing. It'll update, do its thing, and then you can sit there and plop your updated CPU in there, fire it right on up. But I know that's something that you can do with AMD. I'm not so much sure you can do that with Intel.
Yeah, I don't have Intel CPUs.
Right, I have not run Intel in ages.
Yeah. One thing Intel I ran and running is some of the mining rigs. It has a USB port and a push button, but CPU currently doesn't work. So it does have the push button for like the BIOS flashing. You should be able to do it then.
Yeah, you do it without the CPU in the board.
Yeah, take the CPU out.
Yeah. You just apply power to it, and it should just update the BIOS if it has that.
My Gigabyte Core 2 quad supports it. Yeah, so you should be good then, man. Just unplug the CPU, unplug all the other ports like the GPU,
no RAM in there, no CPU. Just your 24 pin, and you got your CPU power.
I don't know, it probably sucks because you probably have the PC like fully built. Read the manual for your board. Yeah. Yeah, it'll tell you. I've heard of BIOS missing update utility. Yeah, you can fix it, man. You just have to reflash BIOS and you can do it. Like Techman said, read the BIOS. The BIOS will tell you, or not the BIOS, the manual for the board. It'll definitely tell you.
You'll be wanting to
You're the
remove the RAM.
exact way to do it.
That's how.
Not going to be that
but I'm
guy,
basing this
but-
off of AMD. AMD, they just want you to have power in the board.
Right. He's like, not gonna be that guy, but RTFM. Yep, read the fucking manual.
Right.
I'm not that guy either. I'm not a manual reading kind of guy. But in this situation, that manual will probably tell you how to fix that situation. I don't never read them anyway myself. So, but
Right,
yeah,
I just Google it until it works.
it'll tell you the exact process. If you don't have one, just look it up on the interwebs.
Right.
There's definitely a PDF on their website. Manual only covers disk drive and internal upgrades. According to the manual only covers disk drives. Okay. And internet upgrades. Manual's only for reference once you get stuck. What does the process say for disk drive though? Maybe try that process. Look, just
Right.
sub
Sometimes
disk for USB.
Right. If it's gonna do an update, it might just pull it.
I don't know. In current BIOS, you can update using USB. What exact model is your mobile? Here we go. Tech support, tech man.
Right. I remember,
the
like,
CD
with my
that came with it on the drive. Oh my gosh.
it's like I had
Asus Prime really coming out with still
my
doing
Asus,
CDs.
With my Asus ROG Strix board, I put everything together,
Prime Deluxe.
power it all on. I get no video output. Things turning on, no video output. I'm like, okay, this is weird. And I'm like, I wonder if it's trying to
try
go
updating
through.
using the USB.
I'm
if your current BIOS supports it.
Right.
Also not on live chat, so these are not in bad order. I'm gonna try the push button. Yeah, unplug everything though. Like if your motherboard manual says in that process for like a disk drive, and it's like, oh, have nothing plugged into the thing, do that. Like plug nothing in, take it all apart. Which is gonna suck. I know, but it could potentially work afterwards. So.
Well, a disk drive BIOS update might not be in the same process.
Oh yeah, because it would have to be plugged in.
Right.
I don't know. Just try it. But under the CPU. I don't think leaving it in is gonna.
I don't because I don't know the Intel support on BIOS updating with a future compatible CPU. Without grabbing another CPU to do the update. If you look it up, it just says plug the USB flash into the designated port on the back of the motherboard, usually marked as BIOS or flashback. Connect the power supply to the motherboard and then turn on the power switch. and then press and hold the BIOS flash button for a few seconds until the LED indicators start flashing. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're just plugging power in. So it's like basically the same setup as AMD.
Yeah, it'll work. I'm looking at their website right now, and it's just like what Nim just said. It gets that legit will be a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you should be fine, man. Just like I said, when it says like plug in the motherboard, probably means like nothing else is plugged in.
Yeah, nothing else.
So like unplug your graphics card, unplug your RAM, unplug your hard
memory,
drives.
No RAM, no memory,
CPU,
no hard drives,
nothing.
no externals, no nothing.
Yeah.
You only
motherboard, power supply, and
a USB device.
The USB drive that have your thing on it, and then hold the button down, and then like Techman saying, it says could take up to 5 minutes to flash from USB.
Right.
Tech support YouTube live.
You Googled it.
I DuckDuckGo'd it, sir.
Oh snaps! I Googled.
But I went and looked at their website. So read the manual. I don't know. I mean, the manual probably didn't say that, but I just love it. Well, hope it works. Yeah, everything.
Smash the like button for tech support.
Thanks.
Because there's 11 awesome people here, and there's just not quite enough Lizzie likes smashed right now. I'm just saying.
Tech man. Did it from the one I won from Jump to make sure he didn't do anything. Oh, non-trusting Tech man. I love it. Makes my heart happy. Mining famous, do awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
What's up, Golden Wolf? How are you doing, dude?
But yeah, I'm so excited for this Threadripper thing, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna keep bouncing back on this one, man. Oh, because you want to know why? Because with these new ones finally coming out that AMD said they weren't going to be making any more consumer grade, and here they are dropping some consumer grade. It means that the second gens should come down in price because there's new stuff, and the old stuff should now come down. The latest before these ones drop, the third gens should come down in price, which should slide the product stack down in pricing, which would in essence could make the 2950 WX like $400. That'd be so amazing.
Pretty dope.
I know. Oh,
pretty like achievable. The CPU room.
Right. So I'm not looking at like this huge shift, but man, a 2950 WX is still $1,300. And that chipset is more than 5 years old. You can find some of them like used on eBay, but like some of the vendors I just don't know, so like it's hard for me to trust them. And what I love about the Threadripper lineup is you get all the threads, all the cores. You can do much more workload stuff. It's like a poor man's workstation, which could potentially be good for stuff that would be proof of useful work. because you've got all the PCIe connectivity.
Allegedly, yeah.
It'd be good stuff to be able to test out.
Yeah.
I'm just not
It
going to
would
be
definitely
grabbing
have
one
an
of the
lane.
new ones for like 1200, 2 Gs. No.
Your only limitation for like that is gonna be the motherboard at that point. Like your
Yeah.
CPU is not gonna be the issue. It's gonna be your motherboard.
Yep. And with proof of useful work, you need to be connected in with full PCIe. So now you're talking
8x.
about
8x is the minimum.
Yeah. And now you're talking custom motherboards. I've seen a couple of them that would work with the Threadripper Pros. But to build on that platform, a little spicy on the price.
Freaking bet.
But to see a 24 core 48 thread for $1,500 though, I know that CPU alone is what's going to push the second gen back down into a price range. It's like, I think I'll start saving up for it.
Yeah, it's not a bad price point. I wonder how much the motherboard's gonna be.
If I had a
motherboard and then cooling it.
So
you guys see the new Threadripper? That's legit what he's talking about.
So the coolers, depending on the motherboard, should take it should take third gen coolers, which I believe is still the second and first gen cooler. I don't think they did anything different with the mounting brackets.
AM4 socket?
Yeah.
The Threadrippers are specific coolers, right?
Correct. Because it's got the it's got offset holes from top to bottom, and it's a monolithic die. So I mean,
the die
it's huge.
Is like huge,
guys, huge. So I mean, like, but what I've heard is that the coolers should be the same. So people who have water blocks should be able to literally just pull the motherboard out, put this one in its place, and you're off to the races.
So they'd be able to use their existing Threadripper coolers.
Correct. The only thing that
I was like, how about like thermal headroom? Is your thermal headroom gonna be like much lower?
My only take on this one is because like you're going from it depends on which platform you're building off of. So if you're on third gen was like 250 watts, so you're only adding an extra 100 watts to your loop. So you should already be running a 360 and a 480 rad for a GPU and a CPU combo of that kind of die set. Now, if you were like myself, I'm on a first gen. First and second gen were 180 watts. So a 280 and a 360 with a GPU and a Threadripper is perfect. So if I were to go step into the newest lineup, I need to exchange my 280 mil radiator for a 480. Or I would get a second 280 mil radiator to go into it, just so that I have more cooling. Because, like, with the mic cooling setup right now, I'm good for, like, 750 watts.
Interesting.
So yeah, I am like all giggity dog over this that we're getting a new enthusiast lineup from AMD. I'm extremely interested to see what the overclocking community is going to be doing with this with LN2 pots. I want to see another world record. Let's see 6 gigahertz all core, or at least 8 core. I know it's hard to say like you want to get it on all core, but at least on 8 cores, getting about like 6.6 gigahertz or 6.1 gigahertz on a Threadripper. It's like, go. And when they break a die on that, man, I wonder how big of a crunch it makes. That moment where you're leaning on the CPU and you just hear a single little ice pop. You're like, and you get a black screen. You're like, oh, I hope that's just the thermal paste cracking.
That doesn't sound good.
No. Usually you pull the CPU out of the socket and you're looking at the very top of the ISH, and you see a little bulge in it, and you're like, oh.
Fudged up real bad.
Nemesis talking stuff all my dreams. Like, oh, I just love to see this stuff. See this thing hit 400 watts, 6 gigahertz. I'm just saying.
I absolutely love it.
Heck yeah. Did you see the new 4060 ASL? Comes equipped with a level on it too. I'm not even kidding.
Stupid.
It has a level on it.
That's dumb. No need for that.
You're like, man, my stuff is so much on point. Even the GPU is level.
PC is level with my desk.
We have an asymmetrical build here. My tolerances are within 0.0001 of an inch.
I was the only one getting found down good. Save the lube life for the rest of us, bro. You gotta share it. Sharing is caring. Let us know when you see those inside of the data center.
You know what I don't want to see anybody utilizing? This will be like a little PSA for me to everybody else. So Max Sun has confirmed the retail price of their flagship 4090 GPUs. We'll just call it. We'll round it up for at least $1. We know there's going to be taxes on there. After taxes, you're over $2,000 on a 4090, and it's their Mega Gamer with those same stupid, useless fans on the top of their card. That where the opening on the top of the card looks like a like a mechanic's wrench, and then they got fans in there that do absolutely nothing. Gamers Nexus confirmed they do absolutely nothing. It's a gimmick.
Yeah, they didn't benefit.
Yeah, not one bit. There was testing done on it of them disabling the fans and having them on. Made no difference in performance or temperatures. So please, people, don't buy this card. It's not beneficial.
What is it even for? What is it for? It's for nothing.
Yeah, you're not getting anything except for an inflated sticker price and having two
you can watch these fans spin from outside your glass case.
Right.
You're like, oh,
I don't
look at
care
those
if you're
fans
gaming with this or
nothing.
mining. They don't do anything. They're not beneficial.
They do. They do something. They spin around in circles.
And waste electricity.
Yeah, it's debatable.
No, it's not debatable. There was already Gamers Nexus did testing on this.
I know.
Fans do nothing. Science, dude.
Don't yell at me.
Science.
Stop yelling.
Because knowledge is power. So please, people, don't support Maxon with their overpriced GPUs that are filled with a box of gimmicks. Gundy's like, seen that shit. I was like, what the fuck is this even for? Exactly, bro. Weird science. Hell yeah, man. Popcorn from outer space. Let's see here. What else did I have that I can go over?
Outer space popcorn? Sounds out of this world, bro. I don't believe it.
Huh?
I said outer space popcorn, bro? Sounds out of this world. I don't believe it.
I know. You gotta watch those classic movies, man.
Isn't tomorrow Back to the Future Day?
I think so. And then next weekend it is the Patreon.
Yep.
Is that going to interfere with your trick-or-treating events?
Trick-or-treating is on Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday for you. Okay. The wife was like asking about it. She's like, when do they do their trick-or-treating thing? I'm like, I'm not sure.
Technically it's on Tuesday. But I think they're supposed to be doing it on Sunday. Because it's on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I always get
say that every year, and then like it always happens on the same day. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've never understood it. They do that stuff around here.
If we are doing things on a Sunday, then yes, it will interfere with my day.
Right.
If not, and we're doing it on the Tuesday, then it's blasphemy not to do them. I agree. Back to the Future Day is today.
Oh. I don't feel like I'm back to the future. Damn it. It's now, not then.
October 21st, 2015 was one of the dates programmed into the...
Right.
Any more fly settings, yeah. Let's see. Is there not much else news? I did see. I was talking about this morning on my show. BitDeer is rebuying their $2 million of shares for the company.
Oh wow!
That they had sold.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that means good things for them.
Must mean it's a lot of money to rebuy shares. Rebuying in a down market too. So kudos to them. So high, buy low. Epic. Speaking of Epic, like the Epic boards, they now support the vanilla S19s, like the OG S19s.
Oh wow!
They didn't at first, but now they do. And they're soon going to be releasing full support for M30s and M50s. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited over it.
They had the boards at
we kind of want to fire up
at mining disrupt, but they were like prototypes, so they weren't like out yet. Soon you'll be able to use them. I don't know if it's the same board. I imagine it'd be like a special board specifically for what's miners, so that way it slots into the machine nice. So yeah, it's gonna be a thing. So you'll actually get a low power mode, because we know that low power mode on an M30 isn't really a low power mode. It still pulls a lot of wattage. Never understood that. So it's high power mode definitely will pull a lot of watts, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, your power supply better be like immersion cooled, cause it's gonna get a little toasty in there.
And the new S19K Pros their power supplies are capable of 5K plus on the wattage, especially if they're immersion cooled, which will push them even further than the XPs you can even like handle. You'll reach like you'll reach your max hash rate before an XP will ever even reach max wattage, because it'll be thermal overheating by the time it gets anywhere near it. So found that kind of interesting. Found that interesting.
I can't wait until like the opportunity that you alerted me to finally takes place.
Heard that.
Like so can't wait. Actually,
drums of lube life.
Oh my god, yeah. Dunk one of these things. Oh, slam it in there like Michael Jordan. So yeah, so trying to work something out to be able to get myself an immersion set up, and it should be able to put in one of my M30 pluses, maybe two. I have to see what the the overall size, because it's supposed to be able to fit an S19 in there, which is a double stack, so it might be able to fit 2 of my M30s, and then I just might have to increase the radiator on there for the thermal output on it.
Yeah, no, the machine's not capable of the thermal headroom for 2.
Right. Well, it's got the flow rate.
Whether it would fit, yes.
If it can
But
fit,
the machine itself, because you plug the power directly into the machine, like inside. There's not enough.
oh, I wouldn't
Like
plug
the
both.
unit
I wouldn't
itself
plug both of them into it.
wasn't supported. Yeah.
It would only get plugged one in. Then. Then you just change the radiator if temperatures get out of control.
You can buy the C2 radiator.
Right? Just swap out the radiator setup on there and solved.
I just don't know if the flow rate would be enough. Supply, what, 6,400 watts?
Well, if it can support an S19 size with enough flow, then it technically it should.
So, I say that. It should. Thermal headroom, right? Because I've seen J Pros in there, and they're pushed like almost 5K watts in the power supply. So, I'm sure it's probably doable and probably okay. If you under volt them, it would of course be mopeda.
Right. But what the fuck is the fun in that? You know you're gonna be like, who? This thing is sitting at 60C.
That's where the fun is.
You're like, this thing is sitting at 60C and it's hashing away in high mode. What happens if I put it in LN2 mode? What happens then? Because the What's miners have a mode in those. Those things have got a mode in there for being submerged.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like Gunny's like, what's the boil temp on that fluid? I don't know. It's not a dual stage cooling setup, so I mean you don't have to worry about it boiling. You could actually take a blowtorch to it and it won't really do anything. We are coming up to that 1 hour mark. Does anybody got any other comments or questions for us since we're getting right there towards the end? You know,
so your new Steam software allows you to undervolt now?
Ooh. Nice. I was looking at the
Extra battery life for the win.
Right. I was also looking at those updated joysticks that get rid of the joystick drift.
I haven't seen those yet.
And it's not like it's like a huge
I don't have
issue.
drift on mine though.
It's like when you've got a little bit of mileage on them.
Mine's much like newer in batches.
Right. Once it gets a little bit of mileage on there, if you don't just like straight up like recenter them manually, it'll kind of just be off center just slightly. There's nothing wrong with the joystick. It just you have to like flick them to get them back into the center position. These updated joysticks have a provision in there to where it'll always just kind of recenter itself.
They kind of like flick back.
Yeah, they'll kind of wiggle back a little bit better, even with high wear on them.
570. Yeah, the 570 is where the issue is, my dude. Remove the 570 from that rig.
Honey, 150, 90. Oh my god.
I got a 5600s.
What are they gonna charge? You know, $3,000 for a 5090.
Oh, like 5700.
Oh,
really? Because I got 5600s. Or you're telling me no, you're not going to remove it? Oh, you know you want to be difficult. Okay.
that's difficult for the win. He wants to red panda, you know, trying to get 20 GPUs to fire up on one Mobo. He wants to pull his hair out.
Because I run 5600s and 6700, and I have 0 issues.
I have straight rigs of 6600 XTs, and then one's got a non-XT on the rig. And they're all stable when they run. I haven't been running them, but when they're powered on, they're pretty stable. Mine, 0 issue on older drivers. Hell yeah, man, older drivers for the win. Like the classic drivers give you no issues. You get on the newer stuff and you're like, why won't this thing fire up when I turn off the monitor? Oh, wait a minute. I've got to add one of these stupid things into the GPU number 1 so it thinks that a monitor's still hooked up to the bastard. Thank you, AMD. Thank you for that. I have to buy a faked out HDMI dummy plug to put my motherboard into server mode. What up, the DogeLord coming in right when we're getting up out of here, trailing in on the end.
What up? What's cooking good looking? Just thinking about those HDMI plugs today. I have a ton of them.
Right?
Yeah, we all do.
I have so many of them, I had one in the drawer next to me.
Probably have one sitting on my desk somewhere. Probably in my bin.
Grundy asking the data of the lords over there got any more of them huddle jams.
Ooh.
Ooh. Bringing it back to the old
3060
school.
memories. Yeah. Freaking 3060s.
Like, you know, finishing projects. November might be back to writing a lot of music. Do it. Do it. Get some of those data beats. Ugh. ADHD has me saying yes, everything to everything, and I got too many unfinished projects. Yeah, that's the problem with just life in general. You just start going, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that too. Oh, that looks really cool. I'm going to do that. And next thing you know, you're like 50 projects in, and they're all like in various stages of being like quarter finished to half finished, but none are finished. But they're all still pretty damn cool. No, it's not that you're saying no to everything else. You're just having your squirrel moment. Squirrel. Catalog. So you had $10 to spend. And spend $10. You can no longer spend that $10. That is true. These are facts.
You have $0.
But if you have $10 and you spend it on Bitcoin, then you have how many Satoshis?
Tomorrow you potentially will have $12 or $20 or $30 or $100.
But you'll have the same amount of Satoshis.
Yeah, but you'll say no. Sats is forever.
Right?
Dollars is temporary.
You see, we need to make Bitcoin great again because Bitcoin would solve war. Bitcoin would solve all wars. Why? Because you can't print Bitcoin. So it would make war unaffordable. That's why they don't want to go to a gold standard. That's why they don't touch a silver standard. This is why they don't touch the Bretton Woods system anymore. Because as long as they're not attached into something that would hold them accountable, they can afford everything. Gandhi, you don't want to pray for that. You do not want to pray for that. Because that'll be basically, a chicken now cost me $10,000. Welcome to Venezuela.
Yeah,
well, if you think about it, DogeLord, every human being is accountable for a certain percentage of work. So the government is basically spending your future workload before you've even earned it. And you're in debt because of that. That's why they want to make all these immigrants, these illegal immigrants, legal as fast as possible, because these are more taxable people to add to the roster. If you have more taxable people, you start trending the tax burden lower amongst the population. Problem is, those same people that are flooding our country are coming from countries that have messed up governments with crappy policies that put them in the position that they're in currently today. And they're going to come here and vote the same fucking way.
He said he's in debt because of Home Depot glizzies.
I'm in debt because of Depot dogs, man.
Depot dogs.
Yep, 100%, DogeLord. It's kind of funny that, you know, a lot of these women that started off in the feminist movement, they were like, I don't want to be barefoot and pregnant. So what do? Instead of working on a household and you know, making sure that, you know, children are taken care of and everything at the home, which is a lot of work to deal with. If you're taking care of everything at the house, that's a lot to deal with. It's a job in itself, just saying. To get them to go, you know what, I don't want that. I don't want to be taken care of and just have to worry about a house. I'm going to go work for another man and make him lots of money. Not like these feminist movement chicks went and worked for a multi-million-dollar female company. No. I'm not saying that women should be, they have to stay home, be barefoot and pregnant type of crap either, you know. But, you know, what the feminist movement was trying to root against was kind of funny in the end, because it, like, they, instead of working for the man you marry, they want you to work for the man that doesn't care if he fires you tomorrow. All with the guys that the government got more tax. They increased their taxable income by 50%. Dun dun dun.
Oh my gosh. But oh my god, I need to be heading out of here. I'm hungry.
Yep. I saw you munching on a slice, and I was just like, my mouth started watering, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I want more.
Right. I'm like, that looked delicious.
Yeah.
So I'm down there with you on that one. So thank you everybody for being here. Y'all rock. Thank you for the great conversation. Thank you for popping in, the DogeLord. Always a blessing to have you here as usual, my dudes. It's like Gandhi mining after dark, now with pizza.
Always down with pizza.
Love you too. The data of the lords.
Much love, guys. Much love.
Right. Is anybody else streaming? Can we redirect everybody or no?
I think Jump Change them are streaming.
Let's set up a redirect for these awesome, amazing people. They can do hashtag DCA raid.
They're live. Sit.
Awesome. Let's go ahead. We got the redirects for you. So just go in there. Hashtag DCA raid. Show some love over there, guys. So thank you everybody for being here. Got anything else before we need to head up out of here?
You're all out freaking standing.
Oh,
Up and your wants down low.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And with that being said, peace out, stay savage, and we'll see you on the next one. Yo.
No.